Hello, entrepreneurs. Joe DiChara back again with another session of Joe DiChara Presents How to Win at Business, and brought to you by the best sponsor in the universe, Bedrock University. Go to Bedrock University today. Enrollment is free, and I am looking for new professors. If you have something that you want to teach, if you have a course, anything you want to present to the universe and it's business related, uh, contact me, timewithjoe.com. Let's see if I get the banners up there. If you're watching live, give me a hashtag live. And if you're watching the replay, please give me a hashtag replay. And I forgot what the purpose of that is, but it has to do with something. If you don't know me, like I said, my name is Joe DiChara. I am a serial CPA with a serial entrepreneur with a CPA license. And I say it that way because I was born to be an entrepreneur. My father tricked me into becoming a CPA, which I appreciate it today. But once I figured out that he tricked me into becoming an accountant, I had issues with that for a long time. So that's my story. I'm sticking with it. I am here basically to provide hopefully valuable information for small business owners. What I found, people, what I've learned in 35 years in accounting and over 50 years in business is that business is complicated. It's tough. And my purpose, what I believe that I figured out only yesterday, that my purpose in life is to try to make it simple. I can't make it easy. There's no way around the hard part. Life is tough. Get over it. And business makes it even tougher. But if you're thinking about going into business, or you're in business and you realize that maybe you're in over your head, or everything's like going all over the place, because that's what happens. That's what happens. If that's where you are, you're in the right place. Because little things like tonight, like what I'm going to cover tonight, and let's get into it here. And I'm going to take off this annoying thing. I didn't realize how annoying that was until I started looking at it. And so we do have some comments here. Oh, my friend Elizabeth. Hello, Elizabeth. My legal department is still reviewing your latest invoices, so we will get back to you shortly on that, my friend. But it should be only like a week or two. So anyway, sit tight. And tonight we are going to talk about time-saving systems that help you win at business. And the reason why I chose this, I've done this before. If you go back a couple of months, I think I'm actually using the same PowerPoint presentation, which is awesome. When you start doing this stuff, you don't have to actually recreate every single presentation, because you can just go back and update them. So what happened this week was we had our mastermind meeting. And I would like to, so I don't forget, let me invite you to, where do we, oh yes, we do have the little banner there, mastermindwithjoedichara.com. We've been meeting every week for a couple of months now, and it's becoming, a real fun, productive, interesting part of my business and my life. And one of my favorite people in the world, Dr. Flo, did a presentation on time management. And I don't know if I know that she's got the course up there somewhere, and if Elizabeth, my trusted assistant there, could maybe post Dr. Flo's time management course. And she gave us like a little snippet of just what she's done, and some suggestions on what we might do. And I'm like a time management junkie. I've been trying to manage my time and other people's time for a long time. So I love the topic. And so she said, and a lot of times what happens is in these masterminds and these presentations is you hear people telling you stuff that you realize that you tell other people, but you don't do it. If that makes sense. And that's not just me. I think the top entrepreneurs in the world go through this. It's a common thing. So, I'm not going to talk to you about my bookkeeping or anything because no, the truth is that, my books are not as neat and organized as my clients are, if that makes sense. Only because my mom retired on me. She was doing my bookkeeping, but okay, I'm getting off on the whole, so I'm going to run out of time. And the ironic thing, Elizabeth, is that I'm doing a thing on time, and another ironic thing, and it's not ironic because this is how it works. I scheduled my presentation on time management, and I scheduled it for 8:10, and I lost track of time. And with StreamYard, if you don't do your Facebook Live, if it's scheduled, it deletes you. So I don't want to be deleted, so I had to reschedule it. I had to push it off. And it dawned on me, I didn't, one of Dr. Flo's tips, one of her tips was to have this little time thing. And I forgot, it's on one of my Post-its on my desk here. But if I had that, this presentation would be over already. We would have been done. I could have been answering questions. I could have been doing other stuff. So I guess the point is that Dr. Flo did the presentation on time management. And here I am. I have webinars. I have all kinds of documents and stuff on time management. And I realized that I could be organizing how can I put this? Because I realize we don't manage time. Okay, think about that. That was another thing Dr. Flo brought up, was about the words that we use. And you can't manage time because what are you going to do? There's X amount of time in a day. The clock is moving. I mean, you can't okay, let's stop the clock for a couple of minutes now, or we're going to put 2 a.m. over here where 3 a.m. was. And you can't rearrange time, so you can't manage it. What we're doing is we're managing what we're doing, our actions, if that makes sense. So it's not, I realized, I said, I'm never going to manage time. Time is going to keep going whether I like it or not. I can't do anything about time. But what I can do are some of the things we're going to talk about today. Anyway, one of the things, another thing that Dr. Flo covered was the fact of having a clear workspace. And I combine that with something that my feng shui knowledgeable girlfriend told me, which was that my desk was all backwards. I had my workspace had my back was to the door, and I was looking at the wall basically. So my girlfriend said, you got a bad energy, bad flow of energy. And if there's any feng shui people out there, maybe you could confirm that for me. But anyway, so I'm after the webinar, after the presentation, I'm looking at my workspace and I have stuff all over the place. I'm not organized. I have a pile of books over there. And this is all, I'm a very neat, organized person, but my organization was in total chaos. It wasn't organized, if that makes sense. So I said, okay, let me just switch my desk around and I'll clear off my desk. Simple enough. Well, 3 days later, I'm basically rearranging the whole apartment. And now I have to go out and buy new plants, a bookshelf. And so thank you, Dr. Flo. and it just dawned on me. I said, well, maybe I should talk about this stuff. Maybe I should talk about stuff that I'm going through, to be transparent and to use it as a learning tool, because that's what we want to do. We want to learn. Number one, I think we should learn to follow our own advice. That would, maybe I should be my own best client. So we are going to talk about ways to, so I haven't done this format in a while. So what I want to do is make your business simple, fun, and profitable. I'm all out of sequence again now because another thing with time management. Oh man. Now this week, Elizabeth is going to be doing a presentation on Canva. And I'm really looking forward to that. So this week is all about time management. And next week, I'm going to probably be spending all of my time on Canva. So next week, maybe I'll do a little thing on my how much time I lost diving into Canva after Elizabeth's presentation. So again, you could join us live, and you could actually ask Elizabeth, who is a master at this stuff, all about Canva for free if you go to mastermindwithjoedichara.com. And so I'm looking forward to that. And let's get that annoying banner out of here again. And there we go. And let's go with the large screen. And I don't, and this is true. I say all the time, and I'm going to keep saying it. And, once I found out that life was tough, it started making it easier. And again, these slides are all out of sequence. So I'm just going to say what I say. Life is tough, folks. I thought it was only tough for me. And once I found out that it was tough for everybody, in other words, we're all like, okay, just like we all have the same amount of time, we're all given this, nobody's got it easy, put it that way. And then as entrepreneurs, this is what makes us insane. We take something that's already hard and we add to it. We make our lives even harder and more complicated by adding the whole business thing to it. And it's easy. It's very easy to get off track. And that's why, so it's tough, it's complicated, and we just can't, it is impossible. If you did the math, if you put down on paper everything, like if you actually did a real business plan and you listed all the things that has to happen to start and run a successful business, if you listed everything, you would look at it and probably say that this is impossible. This can't be done. And if you're an entrepreneur and you look at it, you're going to take the list and crumple it up and say, I'll figure it out. So that's where we are, folks. So we got millions and millions of entrepreneurs floating around out there, and we run out of time because that's basically what happens. Once you decide, and it's math, This is what my friend John Limbacher talks about. He's got all the marketing, everything down to math. Once you could get it down to math, it becomes something that is possibly manageable. Okay, because when you look at the clock, there's only 12 numbers on there. There's 12 numbers on there for everybody. Okay, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, what business you're in. We all got the same, we're all on the same level playing field when it comes to that. So why is it that some people can get so much more done? They're not getting it done in a shorter amount of time, because we have the same time. They're just getting more done in that time. So how do people do it? Well, again, if you were in the mastermind on Saturday, you would have got some real good advice from Dr. Flo. And if you sign up for her course, which I think Elizabeth put she put a link up there for the course, I think. It's really worth it. It'll definitely be worth it. Some resources. Okay, so getting to the time management thing. This is not possible. If you're an entrepreneur, there is no such thing as a 4-hour work week. Okay, it was an interesting book. Very, very interesting book. Very practical ideas on hiring a VA. I mean, this guy went to the point of he's got a VA writing emails to his wife and his girlfriend at the same time. Now, I'm joking. They didn't do that. But I mean, this guy was a fanatic when it came to time. And I'm joking a little about it, because if you're an entrepreneur, you're not outsourcing everything and then sleeping or vacationing. You're doing more businesses. Man, Richard Branson, I think, owns over 400 businesses. Okay, he doesn't have 400 times more time than us. He just, whatever he did. Richard Branson started with a little freaking record store in England somewhere. Now he's got over 400 businesses. Think about that. Okay. All right. We made Elizabeth laugh. We're going to start having a contest on how long will it take me to make Elizabeth laugh. So anyway, Tim Ferriss, he wrote this book, and then he wrote another book. And what I found out about Tim Ferriss is the guy has no time to do anything anymore. Okay. The book was, before he wrote the book, nobody knew who he was. And he had all the time in the world. And then the book put him on the map. And he ran out of time. How ironic is that? So sometimes, be careful what you ask for. So let's get into the real time-saving tip number one. Okay, enough of the joking around. And I believe Dr. Flo said this. And I said, I think she watched my video, actually. I think she took some of the stuff that I did and she incorporated it there. And, we're going to have to talk about that, Dr. Flo. But either way, it works. It works. And it's another thing that works that I don't always do. So I'm reminding myself. So if you plan what you're going to do, I don't actually just plan what I'm going to do tomorrow. I got the whole thing. I have a whole system. But the thing is, at the end of the day, what you should do is really review what you've done, what you've accomplished during the day. And I'm not just saying, what tasks did you check off? Because that's not good. If you're in the business like of accounting or anything that has all of these endless details, you could just become a list checker offer, if there's a word for that. You know, I have a friend, Merv Jarasak. The guy actually makes up words. So I'm going to have to ask for clarification on that. But you know, you don't want to just be like a manager, just going around and checking. It's good to get stuff done, but you want to actually accomplish stuff. And when I say accomplish stuff, it means advancing your business, getting you closer to the winning line. Not the winning line, that's a finish line. Okay, the bottom line is, you know, what you've accomplished today, is it in line with, like, I have a definite chief aim? Did it get you closer? If your goal is to publish a book, did you get the chapters in line? Did you get the what do you call it? The cover art thing. And yes, I did talk to my friend about publishing my s-corp book, Elizabeth, and I got word that we are very close. So a little bit off topic, but I was talking about books. So we will, let me get on here. Yes, I will be talking about my itty bitty s-corp book. It's going to be published very shortly. It's been at the publisher for months now. And my dear friend, Susie Pruden, promised me that we were almost there. This little COVID thing, I don't know what the heck got in the way, but COVID somehow delayed publishing this book that is going to really, I believe, it's going to be a bestseller. I know it's going to be a bestseller because that's what Susie does. But I believe it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm going to start talking about it, and that's my story. What are you saying, Elizabeth, being a leader? Okay. So this is another cool thing that I can do with this that I didn't realize. If you have StreamYard and somebody comments, all you got to do is click on it, and it shows up here. Amazing stuff. So where was I? So plan tomorrow before tomorrow. And the closer you can do it to tomorrow, the better. So in other words, when I'm done here, I'm going to go through my list. I got a lot accomplished today, a lot. And I'm almost out of time, so I got to hurry up here. Again, bad time management. So time-saving tip number 2, and it's really because of all the distractions. Create productive routines. One of the routines that I started doing that's very productive is doing these Facebook Lives almost every day. I'm usually on it at 6 p.m. Wednesdays I'm on it at 8 p.m. And winning is a habit. My man Vince Lombardi there. Here's the skinny, Elizabeth. Last but not least, time-saving tip number 3. Systematize everything. Systematize. Benjamin Franklin had his moral perfection project. Believe it or not, he started this when he was like 20, and he did it his whole life. And it was just a way for him to keep a check on his own life. And we're going to do some, I think we're going to do some training on Benjamin Franklin, because the guy was, he was way ahead of his time. Let's put it that way. This is an example of my system, one of my systems that I use. I keep track of my principles and some of my routines here. And what's next? Take action. If you've gotten anything out of this short lesson, take action. Otherwise, it's just more information you can put in the drawer. If you're not going to use it, it's not going to work. It's not going to help you. If you'd like to connect with me, like I said, I'm looking for university professors. Go to timewithjoe.com. Schedule a free chat with me. If you want to figure out how to put up a course, anything that has to do with teaching online. This is the big thing now. This is you could put anything into a course. I got a new client yesterday, and we were talking a valid business model now, folks. And this makes me laugh because of technology. A valid business model is you could start a business and struggle. Like I have a client that started a Shopify business, and she's going through all the trials and tribulations. Well, you could document that. You could document that and make it into a course and put it up and actually monetize it. So that's my story. I'm sticking with it. I don't want to upset the people in the when universe, but that's my story. I'm sticking with it. God bless. I will have more for you tomorrow. Thank you.